Hi, I'm Sarah. David, I don't hear you. No, where'd you go? We were just talking. I go live and you decide to, I don't know, mute yourself? Okay. Yeah, I can see you're going to say, come back, go out. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Everything was just fine. We tested, and then obviously David did something else. But hi, welcome. I'm Sarah. He's David, and we're going to talk about Big Brother 22 live feed spoilers, you guys. But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. And if you would like to join our Patreon, there is information. Let's try this one more time.
And if you're new to this channel, I'm sorry for all the audio issues there at the top. What an embarrassing showing from me. My God, I do not know what happened.
Oh, yay. We like to just keep people on their toes.
Yeah, keep it fresh.
Well, I already did the whole but first and everything. So,
I saw, yes.
Okay, good. We can just dive into these spoilers.
Yes.
After I say hello to everybody in the chat. Yay.
We've got the regulars here. Thank you for joining us, everybody.
Hello.
We've got something different happening this week, right?
A little bit.
Something we have not seen yet this season. It's a Big Brother 22 first.
It is.
We've got a Nicole HOH.
David, you said that Janelle said.
Yeah.
Week 9, she's going to roll out of bed.
Ready to compete.
And here she is with an HOH. That's right.
This is week 10, technically, right? I think we figured out with our math, but still.
It's the 10th HOH, but honestly, I feel like she did wake up last week.
Yeah.
She, really talked to Cody a lot about what needs to happen, and then she won the HOH. So I do feel like it was a week 9 thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed.
So
here we are. And now from what we've gathered from the feeds and such, it did seem like it was very much a Christmas versus Nicole competition. Like you predicted last night that Memphis and Enzo did not want to win this HOH. Memphis is talking about, it wasn't great for my back, which you also predicted, Sarah. That's 2 correct predictions for Sarah Atwood, everybody.
I know.
B knowledge woman. And Christmas just kind of bungled it. Like, it sounds like Christmas was maybe on her way to winning, and she dropped all of her whatever they were pumpkins when she had one left, right? Is from what I heard. Yeah.
Yes. And I'm shocked that we didn't get a enraged Christmas, because it was that close. Now, granted, by the time the feeds came back, they had played this comp hours before. It was clear. They're all just in bed. They're all chilling. It wasn't one of those moments where, they finish a comp and we're back 15 minutes, afterwards, and you still have that adrenaline.
Yes.
But she was very chill, and she was like, I got in my own way. I had it. One ball left.
Yeah.
One left. And the thing, bounced and they went out. But from Cody's that was her talking.
Yeah.
Cody actually made it sound like Memphis started to speed up. His perception, just sitting on the sidelines, was that Christmas was ahead the whole time. He was telling himself, well, here it is. I'm going on the block. Christmas is going to win. And that Memphis did some sort of high gear from Cody's perspective, that he started to speed up, and that Christmas acknowledged that and got shook because she was trying to beat him. So she sped up a little bit, and that's when she fumbled. He and Nicole were they're working together. Why would they mess each other up? Why would Memphis speed up? Why would she then try to speed up? So we don't know what really happened. That was just that perspective, but it's because she dropped that Nicole won.
Yes. So Nicole is our HOH, and we predicted in yesterday's video that if Nicole won HOH, she would put Memphis and Christmas on the block. And this is what I wanted. I want to see Memphis nominated. Like, that would be another BB22 first. Like, I want to see it before we get anywhere closer to finale night. And that is what we're going to get. She's had her one-on-ones already today. They've wrapped that up. The feeds have not gone down yet for nominations, but like, that's what it's going to be, because she has gotten the people on board that she needed to get on board, namely Cody and Enzo, with this plan.
Yeah, she said it to Cody as soon as she could get time with him. She was like, my target is Memphis. I want Memphis out this week.
Yeah.
Are you okay with that? Can you get on board with that? And he said, yeah, totally. He's on board. So it doesn't seem like a fight yet. I don't know that he will fight her on it, because he is sort of getting more and more info about Memphis sort of playing the game, basically just playing the game, but like ultimately not 100% loyal to just Cody. So
yeah, I mean, I think this is one that could flip a little bit during the week, potentially. I'm hoping that it stays on Memphis and then Memphis gets evicted. That's what I want. But she did, in her one-on-one with Cody, she did kind of bring up, this is Nicole saying that Christmas said Cody's kind of her number one at this point, number one target. Yeah. And so then Cody was like, well, wait a minute. Okay. I didn't know that she was coming after me like that. And Nicole's like, well, blah, blah, blah. Like, you can't change your vote. Like, you still need to get Memphis out. And he's like, okay. And she's like, listen, if I have to do it, I'll put Enzo up next to Memphis so that I force your hand and you have to vote Memphis out. Like, I shouldn't have even said anything to you about what Christmas said. Like, don't get any, no funny business here. You're going to vote Memphis out.
Yeah. And he kind of like called her bluff and was like, that'd be a great move. You should do that. Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Let's start with her first one-on-one with Memphis this morning, because Memphis he likes to get in there first.
Yep.
And he had a deal ready to go for her.
Yeah. And he needed one, because he put her on the block in the triple eviction. It's like, he knows that it's just an easy, I'm repaying you the favor. You did it to me. Now I'm doing it to you. And so he goes up there and he offers her a final 3 and says, if you keep me off the block this week, I'll take you to final 3 and I'll vote however you want me to vote this week. And if you don't have to say anything right now, but if I stay off the block, then I will take that as you are accepting this deal. And he leaves, and she's like, he should have offered me a final 2.
She was like, that's not a good deal. What? And also she knew he was lying, because he kind of he did this whole like big picture pitch where he was like, let me just tell you about my game. So starting in Sequester, I knew that I wanted to put together this large group to like get me to the second half of the game. He's like explaining why he came up with the committee. And he was like, and so I don't have any other deals outside of the committee. Flat out, that's a lie that she knows he's lying about. Knows that's not true. So he then is like, so what I can do is pitch to you a deal that I'll obviously be very loyal to, because I have no other deals right now. She's like, nope, you should have made it final 2. Peace out. Bye-bye.
Yeah. So, she obviously is not that straightforward to his face. It's all, okay, yeah, I'll think about it, like that kind of stuff, because I will say, like, another thing that's been just a bit eye-rolly is how emotional Nicole was this morning about having to put people on the block. I'm like, girlfriend, this is your 3rd time playing Big Brother. Like, you know what this is. Stop. And she's like watching Memphis eat breakfast, and she's like, oh, he's eating cereal. I don't want to put him on the block. And she's like, it's just like, oh my God, can you stop the tears for 1 week? Because it's just like, are we in for a full week of this? Is this what we're going to get?
Well, we might get some ups and downs. I mean, she had to like talk herself into being like, Memphis nominated me first.
Yes.
So it's okay to nominate him. Christmas tried to vote me out. It's okay to put her on the block. But
Right.
you know, she felt the personal part of it all for a minute. But then it seemed to go away as soon as he gave her that crappy final 3 deal.
True.
She was like over it real quick.
And you know, the part of, I think what annoys me about this, because I hate to like really harp on anybody for being emotional, because some people just are, and that's okay, right?
Yeah.
But I think what kind of bugs me or rubs me the wrong way here is that we have a sense that Nicole is putting on an act, right? Like she did the waterworks for her vote against Ian. Like she has tried to manipulate the way the audience sees her this season already. And so I just can't kind of shake that. I can't help but feel like this is all so that like your edit on the show looks like I care about these people so much and it hurts me to do this. But really, kind of deep down, I'm like, no, you're like a ruthless BB player, and I wish you would just own that, you know?
I know, it's so interesting because like we absolutely respect you manipulating the people in the game. We get it. It's your strategy. You want to look weak. You want to look like people can control you, and then you want to turn around and you want to win the game. I get that. But don't try to manipulate us.
Yeah, right.
We want the truth, you know? Yeah, I think that that's what it is. Julie B, thank you so much for the super chat.
Thanks, Julie B.
Hi, Sarah and David. Thank you for keeping me motivated to keep watching the season. I guess Enzo for the win. Christmas has to go. I mean, yes, right? I don't know.
I feel I guess maybe I am rooting for Enzo at this point. I don't know that I care who wins, but I'm going to see this through. I do want to see who the winner is. I don't know that I'm necessarily rooting for one person over the other.
No. And that's probably best that we're not rooting for anyone.
Yeah.
We can see value in certain people winning.
Yeah. I will say, like, not to get too derailed from our one-on-ones, we want to continue those, but like I've had no stress watching the back half of the season whatsoever because the people that I really cared about and was rooting for were gone. And so now it's just kind of like, okay, that person won HOH. Okay, that person won veto. And I can kind of like just watch the game totally unemotionally because I'm not really attached to any of these players.
Exactly. And honestly, that's how we try to watch every season. It's so much harder when they're returning players and we actually have favorites. But if you can stop having favorites and just be like, don't care who wins or who's evicted and just hopefully see good gameplay.
Yeah.
That at least doesn't like hurt your soul.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was Memphis's conversation.
And then quickly, as soon as he leaves, Christmas is right in the door.
Jingle, jingle, jingle. She's up there and she's ready. And Nicole is like, I don't want you to go home. You're not my target. But I will say, like, there's not a whole lot of game. It's a long conversation. Christmas is up there for like an hour and a half. Like Enzo's like, is she still up there? Like, what is going on? But they're kind of just like BSing about things that have already happened this season. There's a lot of talk about Tyler, but not a whole lot of what's your plan this week? Here's a pitch, like things like that.
Yeah. I mean, Nicole kind of got to the point real quick, like made it clear that Christmas was probably going up.
Yeah.
But she sugarcoated it with, I don't really want you to go. You're not my target. It's not really good for my game to lose you.
Yeah.
And so Christmas was just kind of nodding along and was like, let's try to work it out. Let's figure it out then. But there's not much to figure out. You only have a few people to choose from.
Well, and I think Nicole's without saying it, she's like, you know what you did.
Yeah.
You voted to evict me in the triple eviction. So like, you're just going to have to go on the block for that. But like, she does not want Christmas to go home. That's true. I'm sure Christmas is like paranoid, but that's a fact. But it would be ridiculous for Nicole to put up anybody other than Memphis and Christmas this week.
Yeah.
And not only because like Christmas and Memphis don't necessarily know how close she is with Cody and Enzo, but like even not knowing that, it's still a very clear move to put up the person who put her on the block and then the person who voted to evict her. Yeah, that's obvious.
Yeah. Well, Memphis knows he's not that close to Nicole. He should know that. Christmas and Nicole have been fairly close, but the way Nicole kind of phrased it was like, Cody and Enzo just haven't done anything to me that I know of, but like they just haven't done anything like that I could put them up for.
Right.
AKA you did.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, they just kind of are, like I said, talking about Tyler.
Yeah, she feels like Nicole didn't know all the details about the whole Tyler, hey, go ahead, backdoor me, get me out during Christmas's HOH. So she does fill her in on a little bit of that. And of course, Christmas just talked and talked and talked and talked.
Of course. Yeah, right. But I think I did like at one point, Nicole asks Christmas, did you have a final two with Tyler? And Chris is like, no, I just thought he was really cool. Like, he had Casey and I had Josh. I don't know what that has to do with anything. But she's like, he had Casey and I had Josh. And I really liked Casey. And so when I saw him, we just kind of hit it off. I'm like, yeah, okay.
You're like, Casey and Josh weren't in the game. Y'all had a final two.
Right. Yeah.
So eventually Cody like opens the door and is like, are y'all still talking?
Yeah.
And Chris was like, oh my God, I'll go. And he's like, yeah, get out. And Nicole's like, thank you.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm sure part of it was like, I need to save her from Christmas. Yeah. Otherwise Christmas is going to be up there all day.
Yeah. But also Cody was like, Memphis and Enzo are like, are they still talking? Like, it could look like you're making a deal with this person.
Yeah.
Like, you actually do need to be mindful of this stuff. And Christmas has not been mindful of it this entire season. She's always up there way longer when most people are like, I don't want to be up here too long. Like, I don't want to.
Because it looks bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. But anyway. All right. So now Cody's there.
And of course, like, Nicole spills the beans and she's already gotten him on board with this plan. This is when the Christmas conversation happens where he's like, wait a minute, like maybe I should get Christmas out if she's on the block. And Nicole's like, don't you dare. But it's just, again, not a lot of like negotiating here. They've already agreed on the plan, but she's kind of just filling him in on all the details. And then it was like a fun conversation to watch because they're kind of at that stage where they're comparing games. They're thinking towards the finale. Well, you have been playing this way. And Cody was like, you owe your BB life to me. I protected you so much this game. And she was like, yeah, but I knew what you were doing. And he's like, oh, you knew what I was doing? Oh, okay. Okay, you knew what I was doing. And they're just like kind of trying to like cut each other down a little bit,
Yeah, I mean, they do have fun together. They get along really well. And like, she's like, you need to not screw me over. Like, we both can get to final three. Like, you don't need to screw me over. And he's like, oh, look at you, HOH power. I'm going to just bow down to you. Like, they're kind of half talking true and then like half like poking fun at each other.
Yeah, right.
But she does give him all the details about Memphis's deal as well. She was like, look, he didn't come out and say that like he's targeting you, but he said to me he wants to sit next to someone he can beat. And she was like, it kind of sounded like he was alluding to dragging me along and you would be a target. And Cody's like,
yeah. And at some point she did say she asked Cody flat out if he had a final two with Memphis. And he very quickly said no. And I was like,
he lied to her.
That's one of the I can't remember another time that Cody has lied to Nicole this season. But they're getting down to the point where it's like, well, there's less for me to hide because there are so many fewer people in the house. But like, I don't need to get into any kind of final two I might have had with Memphis.
Yeah, I mean, you're usually good. Like, they're fairly honest with each other, but, maybe they don't tell full truths.
Sure.
But when she flat out asked him and he said no, like, that's a flat out lie. Like, that's a whole different world that you stepped into. And he made that choice. I wish that she had also asked if he and Enzo had a final two.
Yeah.
She hasn't asked that.
That's a question that you should be asking, Nicole.
I don't know. But she is kind of being like, Christmas said that the jury loves you and Enzo. You have played a really good game. I don't think anyone's going to take you, Cody, except for me. I'm really the only one who would take you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Final two,
She's very like she's using this all of these conversations to lay groundwork, you know, as herself as like someone the jury doesn't respect. She hasn't won any comps. They aren't going to like that. I've already won. They're not going to want to, you know, because I think she was, I think, very honest with Memphis and Christmas, as honest as she could be without, you know, saying it directly that they're going on the block, but she's still hedging her bets with them and kind of downplaying herself as a threat still, which I think is really smart.
Oh yeah. I mean, they all are, even though it's not like Cody's trying to too. And it's like, sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
You've won 1,000 competitions. Not going to happen.
Right.
Logan, yes, Nicole knows about the wise guys. So that's why she knows that Memphis is lying to her.
Yep.
And that a final three means nothing because he already has 2 final threes.
This is why knowledge is power in the Big Brother house.
Yep, absolutely. Enzo comes in for just a short little one-on-one with Nicole. And I did find this interesting because they didn't really talk game.
At all. They're just gassing each other up about how, because they've kind of like, when you look at the surface of their game, they both are largely playing a social game. They're not competition beasts. He's won 1 HOH and they're, you know, kind of comparing their games in that way. But they're both kind of like, but we still are playing, you know, like they're very much like complimenting each other back and forth about like, you're so good with this and you've been great socially. And like, it's a different kind of game. And Nicole's like, yeah, everybody's so focused on the comp wins and that's not the only thing in Big Brother. And, you know, they're just like, trying to like, both
Enzo's like,
wrap their heads around.
I've really been there for you. I've helped you. You've helped me. We really, you know, we haven't screwed each other over. It was just kind of like appealing to her emotional side, her personal side of like, look, we've got each other's backs. Like there's no reason to go against me and I won't go against you. But he didn't offer her anything. And she didn't ask. She didn't ask, do you have a final 2 with anyone?
Right.
She didn't really, I mean, it was interesting because she wanted Christmas to give her a final 2 deal. She wanted Memphis to give her a final 2 deal, yet she did not expect that from Enzo at all. She is just going to protect him for this minute. Yeah. And not ask anything back from him.
Yeah, it was very interesting. Just like no strategic game talk whatsoever. Just kind of like reminiscing about the game they've played so far. It's like, it kind of leaves me wondering, like, what is their relationship? Like, how loyal to each other are they? Because like, while Enzo's up there not offering anything, Nicole's also not offering anything. There's no like assurances of like, so we've got each other's back until, you know, X point. There was none of that. It was just very much like, we're all good. Like we're, you know, Nicole, like I didn't know about you at first, but like, I really just have come to respect you so much. Just like kind of these general positive messages, but nothing really concrete there.
Yeah. I mean, they've only said like final 3. They want it to be Cody, Enzo, Nicole. They've just sort of like circled around like, this would be great. Let's get there. Yeah. But there's nothing official and no, would you take me? Do you want to take Cody? There's none of that. Yeah. Obviously, just pair it back and say what he thinks she wants to hear. But I thought it was interesting that Nicole doesn't care.
Maybe she's just so focused on, let's get to final 3, me, Cody, and Enzo, and then Cody and I will go to final 2. Like that's really like, she really is ride or die Cody final 2. And she maybe doesn't want to make any promises or deals that she can't keep with Enzo because she feels like that might be, you know, that might risk her losing his vote potentially.
Yeah. I honestly think that she thinks that her and Cody are ride or dies, that he will take her and she will take him. And I don't think that she thinks Cody would take Enzo. So we'll just, in her mind, she's like, great, Enzo seems to be helpful for now. And then we'll cut him at final 3. Yeah. I think is what she's thinking.
Yeah. So then after that very brief thing, like Cody comes back in, but then at that point they're just kind of hanging out, right? Like all the game talk is done.
Pretty much. Okay, so let's go to Christmas in Memphis because they should know they're going on the block. But Memphis was saying things to other people in the house that made it sound like he thought his deal was good.
Yeah.
He's not set that he's definitely going on the block.
Yeah.
And if he is on the block, he knows he's safe. He thinks he's safe. He thinks that Cody and Enzo,
right,
his two wise guys.
Those are the voters. Yeah, he for sure thinks he's safe.
Right. So he thinks that it's possible that Enzo and Christmas go up. It's not necessarily him. But if it is him next to Christmas, he's got the vote. So he's acting like he's not really worried.
Yeah. Oh, God, Sarah, this is exactly why I wanted Memphis on the block. It's going to be so good.
It is a little extra delicious when he's not worried and thinks he's okay.
Right. He just is like, I set myself up so perfectly. And you did a really good job. Like, credit to you, Memphis, for like everything that you built and how far it took you. But this might be a bad week for you.
Memphis had a couple little blind sides or like blinders on about a couple things. He got himself set up really nicely with these two wise guys. But I think first off, he was way too distracted by David. I don't understand what that was all about.
Yep.
But being obsessed about that one person who is legitimately not a threat to your game was a waste of time. And part of that was also not realizing the threat level of Nicole.
There you go.
This whole I'm weak act that she does, he fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
Didn't consider her as a threat and didn't consider her as someone he wanted to maintain relationships with. He just sort of shoved her aside as he was building everything else up. And here we are. Nicole in the house. He doesn't have a relationship with her.
Exactly.
And she might have other relationships.
Exactly. As a result of him not being close to her, not talking to her, I think he, like you said, has that blind spot of what her other relationships are. Who is she close with? He just is not paying attention to her really at all. And so he's missing the fact that she's really close with Cody and Enzo. Like, she even says that to Cody and Enzo. She was like, they have no idea how close I am with you guys. It's so strange. Yeah. And it is strange because she's up there with Cody and Enzo at the same time. Like, she never got in the HOH room at the same time with Memphis and Christmas. But you know, it's kind of right there in front of them and they're not picking up on it.
A little bit. Yeah, she totally played it off as like, you know, there's a duo over here of Christmas and Memphis and a duo over here of Cody and Enzo. And it's like, where do I want to be a third wheel? You know, like who? And it's like, what? How is this believable at all? And then later, Cody and Memphis were just sort of like passing by. And Cody's like, yeah, I was like, look, I didn't put you up on the block. Like, I need you to sort of reciprocate, you know, like playing it off like they're not the tightest duo in the house. And Memphis is just like, yeah, man, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. But I'll tell you who is a little more worried. Memphis isn't super worried, but Christmas is. She got a little bit more information from Nicole and could read the writing on the wall that she's probably going up next to Memphis and Memphis would be the target. So she says to Memphis, look, what we need to do. And first off, he's like, just win the veto. Just win the veto. Who cares? It might not be us on the block. Who cares? And she's like, will you please get ahead of the situation? And he was like, fine. Okay. She's like, let's not wait till noms, let's get ahead of this because it's probably going to be us. And he's like, are you sure? And she's like, yes. And she was like, what we need to do. Well, first she pitched like, you need to go get dirt on Enzo and go back up to Nicole. I don't think he did that. She was like, if the two of us are on the block, we throw the veto to Enzo. Enzo now is safe and can't be a renom. He takes one of us off the block. The only option is Cody going on the block. And she's like, this is how we get Cody out. This is how we break up the Cody and Enzo, Cody, Nicole, whatever. We get Cody out. That's her pick.
Listen, I like it as a way to get Cody on the block. That's smart. But even if you get Cody on the block, he's not going anywhere this week because one vote is still Enzo, and Enzo is not going to vote for Cody. And if Nicole has to break a tie, she's not going to send Cody home. So that may work as far as getting Cody on the block, but he's still safe. He is still so protected that there's no chance Cody's going this week.
Yes. Hello, Will and James. Thank you for stopping
Hey
by.
guys.
Can't wait for the
See you
premiere
next
next
week.
week.
Yes.
Yes, Big Brother.
It's a wash at this
Amazing
point.
race.
Yeah.
Amazing race.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, again, it comes down to the fact that they think they're that one version of the wise guys. I mean, that's the only one Christmas knows about. She doesn't know about the other one.
Yeah.
So she thinks that her, Enzo, and Memphis are an actual trio working together.
Right.
And if they were, then it's a great plan.
Mm-hmm.
When she pitched this to Enzo, he obviously does not think it's a great plan. Enzo was like retelling it to Cody, and he's like, "What? What? They're coming for you. They want you out." He was more worked up about it than Cody. Cody's just
and this is what I would be worried about in terms of my dream of seeing Memphis going to the jury house this season. Like, this is another thing that Christmas is now doing, spearheading to get Cody up on the block and out of the house. And it's just going to take little things like that all week long for Cody to turn around and say, wait a minute. I actually do have a final two with Memphis, and Christmas is the last person in the house that I don't feel 100% safe with. So maybe I don't want to vote Memphis out and then really have to gun for the next HOH and make sure that Christmas doesn't win it, because like they need to win the next HOH. Like, they can't have Christmas winning it, right? So if he's just like, well, maybe Nicole, sorry, like you're the HOH, but you don't get a vote, and so we just need to send Christmas out this week.
It could come up.
I really don't think that voting out Memphis is Cody's best move. I mean, I think he's still like very protected either way, but
well, I do in the sense that Memphis is his biggest competition in the game.
Fair. Yeah.
I mean, I think Memphis is loyal to Cody to an extent.
Yeah.
But I think that Memphis would prefer to sit next to Enzo.
Mm-hmm.
Enzo is easier to beat. But if you have Memphis and Cody sitting next to each other, then you really do have to decide who had the better game.
Yeah. Right.
They have the best two resumes in the house.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I do believe that. But yes, Christmas has her eye on the ball. She knows a lot of, things in the house. She doesn't know everything, but she can see big picture, and she knows that Cody's the one that needs to be targeted right now. And so, at any moment, Cody can freak out and bring it up to Enzo and Nicole. And I really do think that he could go against Nicole if he wanted to. He and Enzo.
Yeah. I truly kind of think that best case scenario for Nicole is that Christmas wins veto. And then she's forced to, like, it would not have been a good move for her to put up Enzo as a pawn next to Memphis in the first place, right?
No,
that would have been horrible for her. But if Christmas wins veto and then Nicole's like, well, I have no other option, Enzo has to go, that does guarantee that Memphis is going to go, even if Christmas, like, obviously Christmas would vote to evict Enzo, and then Cody and Nicole would vote to evict Memphis. But that would prevent a vote.
Nicole would do it. Yeah.
Yeah, Nicole would break the tie. Yeah. Nicole would break the tie. So that would prevent a vote flip that would send Christmas home. So I think that's the best case scenario for Nicole.
Look, I am always up for someone winning veto and taking themselves off the block. We have not seen it except for the one time that Kevin did it. I need more of that in any season, and it's just shocking that it hasn't happened. So, I don't care if Memphis wins the veto and takes himself down, or if Christmas wins the veto and takes herself down. I would just like to see it. Yeah. Mess it up. Get Enzo on that block. Enzo hasn't seen the block yet.
Yeah.
Even if he's a very safe pawn, let's just see it. Get him up there.
Exactly. I want to see some people sweat. Because again, we're just not invested in who's winning what. We just want to see like kind of the most drama possible play out at this point.
These are the upsides of not having favorites.
Yes.
We don't care. Memphis, go on the block, get voted out. Great. Memphis, go on the block, win the veto. Fine. Whatever. Show me some game.
Right. Okay? Yeah. Let's get some interesting things happening on the feeds finally.
Mix it up. I mean, I honestly, if Memphis and Christmas don't win the veto and we just sit for the week with Memphis thinking he's safe? Like, is no one going to campaign? Like,
Yeah,
how does that
right.
week even look?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like Memphis checking in with Cody and Enzo one time, and he's like, "Wise guys, right?" And they're like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
totally." And then
Yeah.
that's it as far as
And
the
that's
campaign.
Yeah. And then Nicole's going to be like, "Don't worry, Christmas." And she's just going to be like, "Okay." And then we just saw her not campaign this past week.
I know. It may come down to how annoying Christmas is this week. That may be the actual deciding factor.
Always. Yeah, because Cody has brought that up already today of like, it kills me that she thinks that she's so great in this game.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I have to read what he said if I
Please.
can find my tweets, because I like wrote it down verbatim.
Right.
Because he was like, if she gets herself to the final 3, he was like, you know, just preparing, like, I will say to her face. And it was just like,
he's like building himself up for like, this is the speech that I have to deliver Christmas to put her in her place.
I will tell her, you are not sitting in final 2. I promise you. You are clueless to what's going on in this game, and nobody is taking you, even though you are the easiest to beat in the final 2. I promise you that. Like, that's what Cody came up with today.
Whoa.
This is how little he respects Christmas.
Whatever win-loss scenario we need to see that happen, I'm all for it. Let's see that happen. I want to see that go down.
Well, unfortunately, Cody is a lot of talk and less action. So, but yes, if we actually thought that was going to happen, get Christmas to final 3, y'all.
Get her there. Get her there.
Gotta see that go down. Oh, like, whoa, Cody, whoa.
Ooh.
Yeah, they do not respect Christmas's game. And honestly, I feel like you got to give her some respect, because she actually does see what's happening and has tried. I mean, she tried to flip on Nicole. Like, I got to give her props for that.
Yeah. Yeah. And the fact that she's kind of the only person in the house right now who wants to get Cody out, props to her, because he's going to win this season. So
that's really funny, Logan.
Oh my God.
She will. She's already said this is the best. This is the greatest top 6 of all time.
Yeah.
If she won, she would be the greatest all-star of all time. And Memphis and Cody would have to live with that. And they would just still be second placers. So,
wow.
That's not going to happen. I mean, it's really sad, but if Christmas sits in the final 2, whoever she's next to wins. Like,
yes.
I don't know that Christmas can get the respect. It just comes down to the people just never, from the beginning, they put her in the committee to take people out, pop off, and then get voted out.
Wow. I mean, the fact that that is going to be the story of her season is pretty wild. They're like, this is what we need from her, and it's exactly what she is going to give them.
Yeah. So that's it. This is where we are. Noms did go down at 4:20 Pacific, or feeds went down 4 noms.
Correct.
So they will probably come back in 15 or 20 minutes, and there will be no surprises.
Nope.
Memphis. And Christmas will be on the block. It will be beautiful to see. And Memphis should be a little bit shocked.
I was going to say, like, I hope he's a little bit peeved, He lets Nicole know, like, okay, deal's off. If I stay, you're in trouble. Like, okay, give me a little bit of drama here. I like that.
Yeah. He's just so game oriented. I mean, like he said, if you put me up, whatever, deal's off. But
yeah,
it's okay. He's like, it's okay.
Yeah,
but it's deep down, it's not okay. He's on the block.
Yeah, but deep down, he could probably win veto. Hopefully, it's like something that requires a lot of back muscles. Hopefully, that's what the veto is.
And it might be BB Comics, because we'll finish off. We are due for BB Comics if we're going to have it this season.
Yeah.
But CBS put out a tweet maybe yesterday, that was just like talking about BB Comics. So random mention of BB Comics. So that kind of made me think it's coming up this week?
Yeah.
Question mark?
Yeah, a lot of people have been waiting for it. So
Yeah, we are. We're
feels
waiting for it.
yeah.
This feels like the time to do it. And if it's harness like it has been,
Yeah.
I think that's hard on your
That's
back.
tough. Yeah. Yeah. You definitely are engaging your back when you're like hanging from something. So
I don't remember did Christmas even get to play in that, or was that not allowed because of her foot? But I do know Nicole won in BB Comics.
Oh, she won BB Comics?
She did, yes.
Okay.
That I
Yeah.
remember. I don't know how Cody did, or
Nicole's good with the mind memorization type stuff.
Very.
So I could definitely see her winning that again. But so is Memphis. So it may come down to, does it really hurt? Because you've got a drop too. And that like kind of impact could really mess up his back too, as he's dropping from that harness. So that may slow him down considerably.
Yeah. I think that Nicole is a little better than Christmas at the memory and dates and stuff.
Yeah.
But physically, maybe Christmas is better than Nicole at getting around and moving around the comics.
Sure.
So it'll be interesting to see. But yeah.
It will.
That is what we've got for you guys.
That's the state of the BB Union.
You know, again, don't care. And I am kind of interested to see if anyone can win veto. And I am kind of interested to see if they actually get rid of Memphis. If they get rid of Memphis, I think that that's a big move for the house.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Like, I think Memphis had a great chance to win this season if he could make it to final two. Like we said, he's done such, like, do you remember when he was forming the committee and it took him forever? And we were like, this joke, like, he thinks it's a good idea to form an alliance that's never in the same room together. Does he think that's going to last? And then it did, you know? So
it dominated the entire season.
Credit to him for making that happen. And then the Wise Guys thing has worked out up until it's maybe not going to anymore. But like, if it does work and he makes it to final two, I think he's played a great game. So I definitely think it's a big move for them to get him out this week.
Absolutely. Exactly. If only he hadn't been distracted by David.
Fatal flaw.
That was it. That was the downfall right there.
Sorry, Memphis.
You guys, thank you so much for joining us in the chat.
Yes, we love it when you join us live. And if you're watching us later, leave us a comment. Let us know how you think this week is going to go.
Absolutely. And next week is a very, very busy week. We have...
Oh, my God.
Big Brother on Monday. We will be back after the Monday episode. We got to check the local listings on that. Do we still have Monday Night Football?
I think it was that game specifically was delayed. Okay. So I think that provided there aren't any like corona outbreaks in the NFL, I don't think it'll be a problem.
Okay, so we'll be back after the episode on Monday with veto spoilers.
Correct.
Tuesday, Great British Bake Off watch party, and also Amazing Race pre-party stream with Justin.
Special guest.
The green team from season 27. Everybody knows Justin, right? Justin and Diana?
Everybody knows Justin.
Come on, get on board. Then Wednesday, Amazing Race premiere. We will be live after the premiere to talk all about the premiere.
Oh.
Thursday, we'll be back after the BB eviction to celebrate either losing Memphis or Christmas.
It's great. It's great. Either way. Yeah. And then Friday, we'll be back with live 5
rinse
days
and repeat
a week.
I mean, you're welcome.
Yeah, you're blessed.
Why do y'all put up with us? I don't know.
Truly.
But we appreciate it. All right. We will see you guys. Have a wonderful weekend.
All right. See ya.
Bye.